again from the Center for Aligned Living, where we are in service of empowering individuals to unlock their full potential through conscious living. Now, what does that mean exactly? Conscious living, to me, it means basically just awareness, paying attention, knowing where you are right now and where you want to be in the future, and then closing that gap. And there are so many tools that you can use to narrow that gap, to live the life that you want to live, and to live aligned with your true self and live authentically. It's really empowering. It's beautiful. I can't imagine another way to live. There's really no other way to live, because if you're not living aligned with your true self, you just are, you have a tendency to be uncomfortable and reactive and not just basically just not healthy, and just not living up to the standard of where you should be living. It could be living. And so we like to work with each individual where they're at and close the gap of from where they're at to where they want to be. And there's many ways to do that. Recently I've always told you our superpower is our ability to choose. Choice is our superpower. At any given moment, we can choose to do or not to do, react, not react, how we react, what we think. Everything is a choice. I know that I am a big proponent of when you very first get out of bed, set your intention for the day that, you're going to have a good positive day no matter what comes along. We can drill down into that a little bit more, because I think that is a really great way. I mean, set your intention before you go to sleep. Set one as soon as you get out of bed, And so I started doing it. This is from an Abraham Hicks video. I did a grid one day because I got out of bed pissy. It happens, okay? I'm a human. I'm not perfect. I am not worried about perfection, because I'm never going to be perfection. I am concerned about the progress that I personally am making between where I am now in life and who I am, and where I want to go and who I want to be. And how I want to serve. So, I woke up pissy. I'm not afraid to admit it, I'm human. And so, I was like, oh, I can't shake it. And then I'm like, yes. Just pick one of your tools, what resonates with you this morning, Jamie, and just do that, right? And get out of your way. So, I decided to do a grid of how I wanted to feel, because I didn't want to feel, obviously, the way that I was feeling. So I wrote down, in no particular order, how I wanted to feel. And several things came up, some of them weren't even really emotions. They were just, how I want to live. I want to live wholly in the now, completely now. And I want to be neutral. I want to practice non-judgment as much as possible, right? I want to be aware, very conscious of my surroundings and my feelings and what's going on with me physically and mentally and what's going on around me. So just paying attention. So I made this big list, right? And then I sat with the list for a few minutes, and I just experienced if I put myself in the holy now, living in the now completely. And I sat with that, and I was like, how would it feel what does that feel like? If I'm completely together, if I pull myself together and I'm living in the now, what does that feel like? And I just experienced that feeling, right? So then I went on to the next one. What do I have here? Neutrality, non-judgment. I kind of wondered what that would feel like, and I experienced that feeling. Went down the entire list. And what I did was I created this entire, they would say vortex, but that's the energy then that I was swimming in. So I went from the piss pool over to, sorry, why so serious, right? Sometimes we have to lighten up. I went from that to this yummy, like much more loving, accepting, happy, that's where I want to be, so I created that by just going down my list of what I wanted to feel and what I wanted to experience today, and just what I wanted to present to the world. And I sat with those feelings, and then I just started putting that in my bank, and so law of attraction and energy and what you think about you bring about. I had a good day, So the next day, I did the same thing, and I went back to the list, and I took photocopy it with my little phone there, because I had to run somewhere. I had to go, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this. This is important to me, but I'm gonna take a picture of it with my phone, and if I feel like I'm going back over to the pool, the negative pool, I'll just check in on this list and make sure I have myself in check and just be gentle with myself, just being aware, being conscious of where I'm at that moment. So I just brought myself back, it's like, oh, okay, well, here we go again. Okay, reset. And this was just really, really good and healthy for me, and I recommend that if you're in the fist pool, that maybe you try something like this. And it doesn't have to be a huge list. It can be one thing, or, it can be 20 things, whatever. Now, I took my things. I don't even know how many are on here. I kind of even added them to kind of combined them. I simplified it. I made a list today. I put them in a different order because as I was experiencing each feeling, it was almost like they built off of one another. So my order of I want, peace, and I want to be open, and I want to live in the now, and I want to practice neutrality. There seemed to be a flow or a progression that I was feeling. So I rearranged the grid, and I just made a list. And now I can just kind of run down the list, and I can read them, and I can feel, and I can pull up that feeling just real quickly of how I choose to feel, okay? And it helped me immensely just to staying, on task, right? And that's not even the right word, but just staying balanced, staying aligned. And I had a very challenging day one day this week, with a relationship that I'm in, and there was just this misunderstanding, and I was trying to be my healthy self and stay aligned, and I gotta tell you, it's easier told than saddled and rode, because sometimes when things are coming at you, especially the closer you are to them, like emotionally, attachment, it can be really freaking hard to listen to what you're taking as an attack and stay aligned and not be reactive or feel judged or feel unloved or unworthy. And it's just really, really hard because all of that is external. I know that, and I know that maybe you know that, and maybe just listening to things like this and other sources that are out there, you'll start to feel, you start to become aware, conscious of that feeling that what is your reality, what is your core, and what is external, okay? Because the external is out of your control. All you can control, choice, is your response to the stimulus, right? Okay, so it just helped me a lot. I'm going to keep doing this. I really enjoyed it. And it's all just part of it. But yeah, it can be really challenging. And you can, I ended up, I can only answer the same question 25 different ways. If you, about the 24th time I start to get a little anxious or something, I go into the piss pool. And I'm human. I'm working on it, and I want to be the person who's just grounded all the time and solid, and people just completely count on me, and I'm getting there, and we're all getting there, but we all have our moments, and I think that we have to give ourselves grace when those times come, and just kind of just step back, ask for a timeout, ask for whatever you need, even if you don't know what you need, just step back and just be like, I gotta check out for a minute, you know, I gotta do something else to get this off of me and get closer, you know, to alignment where I can make love-based decisions instead of fear-based. I mean, I took a big breath there because I want to use the right words with you so that I don't get confusing in any way, because that's all it is. It's a choice, and we're choosing between fear and love. And let me tell you, I don't really know why anybody would choose fear, yet I see us all struggle with it. We do. We choose fear. We go back to fear. And we have to learn the new language. We have to return to love. We have to learn that language, because, you know, no matter who you are, you have to learn how to deal with yourself. And you have to learn how to deal with yourself before you can deal with other people, right? Because if you don't even know what's pissing you off or triggering you or whatever, well, how in the world is somebody else supposed to be okay with that? Or, like, it's not their responsibility to tiptoe around those triggers that you have, right? Or to figure them out, or to point them out to you, because if you're not aware of them and they tell you, if you don't go within and really focus on, okay, they said that this happens. How does that feel when they say it? Does it seem like something that I do? Yeah, okay, I do. Well, why do I think I do that? And you have to drill down until you're at the root of, oh, the light bulb goes off, and you're like, that's why I do it. And guess what happens? That's when the magic happens. When you get to that moment where you know why you did something, or that you're doing something, whatever, you're like, oh, I do that. I'm acknowledging, you know, I could do better in that scenario for whatever reason. We don't have to go into why right now. But that is the moment that you put awareness on it through your conscious living, your conscious choices, and you can start making different choices. And that will get you closer to your goal of living authentically and living exactly the life that you want to live. Just figuring out, you know, what your triggers are, what makes you happy, what makes you sad, you know? We don't have to be afraid of our emotions at all. I told a client yesterday, you know, there was fear involved, you know, and I'm just scared. You know, we all get scared. And don't be scared of being scared. But you don't have to live in the fear, right? You need to drill down, and you need to figure out what you're afraid of exactly. And all it is, the fear, sometimes fear is very healthy, right? And it keeps you safe. And it causes you to react, and it, you know, to keep you physically safe. But we're not threatened as much as we used to be as a species. But we don't need to go down that road. But just for day-to-day living, you know, we don't have to live in fear. Fear is a choice. We need to figure out what it is we're afraid of, right? Because it's information. That's all it is. It's information. It is telling you what you want and what you don't want. So we just need to keep it simple. We make things so difficult. And we don't need to. We can just, you know, lighten up and not make it so complicated. We have an emotion come up. All of them are emotions. They're just energy flowing motion through you. It's information. Hey, that kind of made me mad. Or, oh, that kind of made me jealous. And jealous is fun, isn't it? It's a fun one. Or comparison. Joy suckers. That's what they are, but we all experience them. But guess what? You can think that. You can think that, and you can say, thank you, jealousy, or comparison. Don't dwell on the negative side. Just think it and say, now I can see something that I want in my life that I don't have, and I can go get that. Or I can work towards getting that. Do you see what I'm saying? Well, try it. Try it. Do a grid for yourself. You don't have to do it in the morning. I just think it's, you know, I get up early, like 5:17 every day, just so that I can start praying and setting my intentions and getting my head on straight. And then by the time, you know, everything starts happening around me, you know, I'm prepared because I'm spiritually balanced, I'm aligned, and I'm feeling good. It may all go to heck in a handbasket, but you know, if you got to win the first one to win all of them, right? But you can do it anytime, and you can always go back to it, right? Maybe you wake up late, and then maybe later on you just are like, you can touch base with it. That's why I really loved having the picture of my grid, because I could touch base with it at any time, you know, that I was like not feeling the way I wanted to feel. And I just looked at my list. Well, what do I choose to feel? And I would read it, and I would feel those things, and I would feel much better. So give it a try. It's fun. It's fun to be happy. There's a lot of unhappy in the world, and I think that we could, the only way to change that is by getting happy individually. And I think I know that's how we're going to heal the planet, is we are individually going to heal ourselves, and then collectively it's going to heal the planet. So that's my goal. That's my purpose, helping you. So reach out, phone a friend, phone us, do whatever you need to do, but just start, and be gentle on yourself. Don't judge yourself. Don't be harsh on yourself. It's not easy to learn a new language, and that's what we're doing. We have been taught, and we're still being taught, based on where you look. So I fear-based living and information out there, okay? And some of it's important, but we still get to choose. And even if things are really bad, you can still choose happiness, or you can still choose peace. Or, you know, maybe you don't start like trying to be perfect. Don't even try to be perfect. Okay, I'm going down a rabbit hole and I'm going to stop soon. But just start. Start anywhere. Start with one thing, even when things are bad, you know? And if you're stuck in a hole, gratitude, or do something for somebody else. Those are my words of wisdom today. That's what I do. I don't always succeed, but by God, I'm going to get back up on the horse and I'm going to keep going. So I hope you do too. I hope you get something out of this. And thank you. Thank you for sticking with me to the end here. And I'll see you again real soon, all right? Thanks. Bye.